Amitabha Buddha greetings to all the people. Ladies and gentlemen, the people woke up this morning. The first idea is, do people remember the Buddha? People remember the Buddha, but do people have the heart to pray for the dead? Dear people, these are great memories of the Buddha to connect with the masses before sharing learning. Adi-da Buddha. Adi-da Buddha. Adi-da Buddha. I asked Amitabha Buddha to send me to the West. Amitabha Buddha, Amitabha Buddha, Amitabha Buddha. People do. Today receive great pleasure, continue to quote in. To receive what is? Quoting the law of the Master Lin Lao. Sir, Lian Yu is the 8th master of the Pure Land. Invite the masses. Let us listen to your teaching. Gentlemen, each time that before that formal study, you hear these stages, try to listen to great readings. Slowly, we listen to the teachings of our ancestors. Master Lin maintained teaching. It is rare to see 100 years old. Today, in this afternoon scene, let go of what is in your heart. Seeing the world is a drama. What's real? Take a sentence, Amitabha Buddha Entertainment Month and Day. Just take the Western world ecstasy. Make your home. The Buddha will later be born in the West. How to be so lucky? Escape from the mind with great joy. Don't get upset if you have a bad job. Turn your mind around. A sound of this Buddha reciting quickly. Back reflection. I am a Buddhist. I am a person in the world of Amitabha Buddha. Why do we have the same knowledge as the secular? Anger is the most joyful thought of Buddha. This is the great liberation, the bliss of the wise. It's a phase of the Master Lin Lin. It teaches us to recite the Buddha. People say, you said it was rare to see 70 years ago, 100 years old. The other day I stopped to read a poem. Or is it the work of a Zen master? 100-year-old man. The old story turns to the dream. Thinking of crying, Liu went astray, forgetting the world and not coming back. It means that life is said to be 100 years old. But in here, you say it's 100 years old. But 70 years ago, it was rare. What is 100 years old? It's really here, you say, in humility. For the ancients only. You see, in this day and age, you see hips, the chaotic war, natural disasters. It's that in every age there is. But what is it like in modern times? There are many accidents. Young death is a lot of sickness. The strange diseases. People know that in the temple. How many cases are there? How many adversity? The death of the princes. To die in the toilet, had a fatal stroke. Yesterday, I met you guys and met you guys. Laughing and joking at night is natural. The heart dies in the room. There was also an old woman in the temple yesterday. A nun was 4 or 50 years old. He is also healthy and normal. I fell out and started to stroke. You have to put it in the memory room. I don't know how to die these days. That's why he said that 70 years ago, it was rare. 100 years old. We often think that. We keep thinking and calculating. How old are you? When I get old, I will live a long time. A lot of people say I've only had 70 this year. Wait until you are 8 to 90 years old. We don't know that in the list. The judges under the match. Yang Yang. How old are we? Once impermanence comes to us, we can't talk about a problem. I can't say a single thing. So, often the masters say, the person who succeeds, achievements on the way. Free from all the methods of Zen Buddhism that, Pure Land or all other methods. Everyone can also feel the deep indifference. If we feel the impermanent, it's coming to us, it really comes to us. We feel one thing, it doesn't have to wait for old age, and it's not waiting for me. It didn't warn me, it was a surprise. And it's not old that dies, it's young that dies. It's like a 23-year-old. The brothers met a few months ago, and the hand caught the happy face and sat in the car to pick up wood. We're in a truck to get wood. Shared car be a guard to carry iron carrying stone, to build a temple, to build the ashram. They laughed and said they were happy to invite each other a glass of water. Sometimes he even teases or teases him. Very cute fat 23 years old. One of them had a brain hemorrhage or a stroke. It's done. Going out is going out doesn't predict a problem. If he knows he's 23, he dies, and this year I died. How can you reward me? How can a sloppy calf? I will try to remember the Buddha. Just like I always say, Master, death is so close to us. It's close to us. Pure Land practitioner, it's not just pure water, but all of them. The same goes for other methods. If you want to succeed professionally, I want to achieve liberation. Not outside of work. We always put death close to us. It's nature that makes our minds. Our atmosphere must be on fire. Because impermanence doesn't wait for anyone. I don't forgive anyone. And it's not our familiar body. It doesn't have anything. It doesn't have anything. You have to go. I have to go. I didn't say family. Not by my decision. And how much money and how much material things. How many careers? That's your business. You've got to go. When impermanence comes, there's no one left, folks. There's no one left, folks. So I hope you Buddhists, young people too, middle-aged people too, and who are even more than the elderly, to hear these stages, he said, it is rare to see 100 years old. Today in this afternoon scene, it's about letting go of what's in your heart. You said you were old. If you are old, let go. If you can let go, to build up. I live with all the people in this temple. Nearly 2,000 old people are very familiar. One pair of pants, a shirt, something called a trifle. When I was young, I was awake. When I was wise, it has not become a habit. When you look down, it's hard to let go. It's hard to let go. Here you say, I think I'm old. I am old. There's not much time left. Let go. But what the modernist here means is that you don't wait to get old and practice those things. When I was healthy, I was awake. You're aware of the problem. Every day we hear French. We recite the Buddha, we practice gradually letting go. In old age or we don't get old sometimes. We wait until the time of the near trial. Is that we've prepared all our belongings, full baggage, and get ready to face the death and birth. Not waiting for illness. We don't have to wait until we're old. Practice and do it. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. So let's hope people hear these stories today in the afternoon. In this afternoon's scene, it's partly about older people. But we're actually reminding ourselves, always there. Don't wait for the next illness. Then we start talking about recitation. We start to let go. We humans have something very strange. Happy time, happy time. He threw the Buddha behind his back. I don't know what the hips think about. Indulge in it, delight in it, immerse yourself in the joy of the world. One day close your eyes. When sickness comes, embrace the Buddha's feet. Hugging Buddha's feet begins to blame the earth. In time for hips, it's hard to catch up, gentlemen. Once you're sick, lie down on the bed thinking a Buddha sign. It's 100,000 times harder than normal. Compared to normal times now, people say the recitation of Buddha, purely a strain. Become a habit. It's become a habit to hit the wall. Amitabha Buddha sent me to the West. Every day I speak the words of God. It's a reminder of the modern self, and that's what motivates you. Because this is the key. Let's make a career out of it. Born in the West, what's the point? To remember the Buddha's invocation of birth. Extreme is the essence of our pure-hearted practitioners. This place is very important. See here. Seeing through the world as clearly as a play. What is real? Husband, wife, children, career. When you close your eyes, we look back on this life, what is ours. When the disease comes, the AI can take care of itself. Who suffers for me? Breathe for me. When the disease hurts, let me. It's only thanks to the Kung Fu recitation every day of ourselves. No matter how good you are. How much does my wife love me? How much my husband loves me? They didn't help me breathe. They can't help themselves in pain. I can only hold one hand. Say a word or two to your friends. I can't help myself either. Only one day to remember Buddha. Buddha's thoughts become a strain. Training habits for yourself. When we're dealing with sickness and suffering, with near-death karma, only there, Amitabha Buddha is the place where we rely on. It's durable. In this world you speak as clearly as a play. It's like a dream. When you close your eyes, what is mine is not what is mine. Now if you don't let go, I have to let go. If you don't quit, you have to quit. Because you can't bring those things with you. Only skinny. Building the blessing for yourself. Build a king reciting Buddha for himself. This place has something to use. During the time of death, it's clear at the time of death. You said, just take it. A sentence Amitabha Buddha entertainment month and day. Just take the Western world ecstasy. Make your home. I remember the Buddha later being born in the West. How to be so lucky. From the mind of being extremely happy, do not create trouble. He said our reciters of the Buddha, be ready to be the Buddha. It is worth remembering the Buddha. It's easiest for you to pick up this dial. It's very easy. It makes it a habit to remember the Buddha. Reciting Buddha regularly. There's nothing magical about it. It's just that it's a vehicle in this day and age. In the past, there was a chain. Now you go to work. If you wear a chain, it's hard. Now there's this machine. You keep reciting the Buddha. Let's sincerely recite the Buddha produced as these great. I water the tree every morning. I can't even remember the Buddha's words. But irrigating the yard these days. The days need a lot of dust. Finished watering and modern it's sitting under the 500 words. 1,000 modern things in the room. Modern break. While eating rice. Just ate. If you can recite the Buddha, you can't recite the Buddha. After eating, sit there and eat. The sign here says, to take the Buddha's phrase to amuse time. There are many people. Go to the bar, go to the disco, go for coffee, go to milk tea. Take it as a pastime. Sell off your precious time. We remember our Buddhist reciters. A Buddha's motto is to cultivate. To cultivate the virtue of virtue, love for yourself. We lose time reciting the Buddha. Is to lose the merit. Love for ourselves, then the choice is ours to make. We want to fight away the blessing of grace, or want to cultivate good grace. If you want to live in the West, lost in the world, what kind of person must fully converge goodness and virtue and grace? And I want to do that only there. to accumulate merit in this Buddha title. Wear this Buddha title, so just take this Buddha sign, time control, and think that my future is ecstasy. The West is my home. This world is just an inn. It's just that the road is real. If you think so, you say, don't worry. You have to make trouble in this world. Whenever difficult things come our way, we keep thinking I said. Means that do what it qualifies. It's convenient enough. We can only go back to our true home. Whose house is it to come to my house? Western ecstasy. The world is the most peaceful place, the most honest. So this woman has a difficult challenge. Let's just remember to practice. Not really, but gradually get used to it. Whenever there are difficulties in this world, keep talking to her. There's nothing wrong with the future of ecstasy. I want you to know that the future will come home. There must be something wrong. Practice gradually telling it. Slowly, we see the external environment. Something difficult comes to me. Let us relax and remember that the Buddha is good. Then take the Buddha's name. Mindfulness is good because what you say is true. What is a person who truly recites the true recitation of the Buddha is to encounter the situation happy or sad. Take this Buddha sign out. To solve the Buddha sign to bring law. If you think that, it is the true person who uses that Buddha sign. You say, if something goes wrong, turn your mind around. Wear this Buddhist recitation. Quickly recite the reflection. I'm the world of ecstasy. They are not people in the ordinary world. Why should we be like the world? You have to think like a secular person. Most joyful change of anger. This is the great enlightenment, the great liberation, the great bliss of that wise man, you. You say the man. That reciting Buddha's request for ecstasy is a great enlightened person, great blessed newspaper, great wisdom. It's not a trivial matter, gentlemen. So, you've heard through these stages. You should remember. On the contrary, you said there's always a reflex. Turn my mind around. Every time our hard times come, we always aim for the positive. Don't focus on the negative, like the great or the good. Fake those 1-minute lectures or talking about sharing sessions. You've heard it over and over again. Instead of us saying my karma, my weight is too heavy, I'm guilty too much. Thanks to this karma, I can see that I, too bad for so much karma. I just found out that I'm terrible. That's why it's so hard to be a Buddha in this world. So what is the ecstasy of being born in the West? I'm not that good. Where do I come from negativity? My career is too heavy. Why are you here? Why are you here? From the negative, from the unbelieving. I have to completely believe in Goddess will. Believe in His guidance and believe that. I am a mortal. I have deep karma, but I've always been passionate. Pray for birth is in agreement with your reception. Then surely you are born. Surely you are free from suffering. How we turn the trust back. Turn back the positive thinking. Slowly negative becomes positive. Who yelled at me one more time, oh? They remind me to recite that Buddha. People swear at me. It means that we can't do anything good. Or maybe I have something I've done in my life. In many lives there is fruit. Now I don't want to be scammed. Don't want to be difficult. Only about the extreme West. Peace is the healthiest. It means, keep your mind in mind. Convert to credit in a central way. Vow to be that Buddha sign. Today is the day to share these messages with you. Try your best. You listen every day of learning. Like the great speakers, that we are peaceful and happy every day. Peace and happiness of the person is to recite the Buddha. The peace and happiness of those who recite the Buddha. Open my eyes and my mouth. I can see the Buddha with my eyes and my body. Let me make up my mind. Accumulated day by month. Every year and finally, we re-back. He said just take the Buddha's cue to distract time. No time in the coffee shop. I hear you don't spend time in milk tea. Listen. You don't spend time at tea tables. Through the disco bars. Remember to listen to the people trying. And take the Buddhist motto, the goal of my life is my direction. The only difficulty is that obstructing the challenge is someone who doesn't understand. Adversity comes hard. We have to say conditions, a chance to look back at her, and to orient the purity. When people hear this, they recite that the people are always positive, not negative. Remember this place. Today, please allow me to reread today's post and to end today's lesson. People are listening again. Master Lin Lich teaches, it is rare to see 100 years old. Today in this afternoon scene, let go of what is in your heart. Seeing through the world is clearly a miracle. What's real? Just take a Buddha phrase for entertainment month and day. Just take the Western world ecstasy. Make your home. Today I recite the Buddha. He will later return to the West. Why are you so lucky? Don't create a mind of great joy. If something goes wrong, turn your mind around. One recitation, one sound this Buddha quickly recited. Back reflection. I am a person in the world of Amitabha Buddha in Sao. There is knowledge. It's like a secular person changing anger for joy. One thought on Buddha. This is the great liberation of peace. It is the method of the wise. So, that's the Master's stage. Continue to teach us. At noon we hear this. Build your own rites for yourself, eager to recite the Buddha all day. Nature of mind Buddha. The determination of this world is born in the West ecstasy. I wish the people a lifetime of prayer. He soon returned to the Western world. Non-tissue do Buddha.